probably seen those viral AI videos flying around and thought, okay, but which tools are actually worth building a workflow on? Not just the prettiest demo, I mean the stuff you can slot into your creative routine and reliably ship content with. I went through the popular AI video models and tools, stress-tested them on what matters, realism, speed, cost, usability, and more importantly, how they plug into a real creator workflow. And here's the punchline up front. Mix and match models for generation if you want, but the thing that actually turns all that effort into growth is a system that cuts strong hooks, keeps styling consistent, and posts on time. That last mile is where most creators stall. For that, Vizard sits in S tier for me, even though it's not a text-to-video model. It's the growth engine that makes the rest of this stack matter. Let's lay out the criteria so you know how I'm ranking. Visual realism and motion fidelity, obviously. Speed, both generation and how fast you can iterate. Cost per second per month, and what unlimited really means. Usability, UI learning curve, how hard it is to get repeatable results. Sound and dialogue where relevant. Multi-shot consistency, does the look and the character stay coherent across angles? And then the one most lists skip. Can you turn what it makes into publish-ready clips that fit a posting cadence without spending your weekends hand-fixing captions and juggling schedulers? That's the difference between cool demo and channel growth. Runway first. Massive player, early mover, and the examples they show are legitimately fire. Cinematic, animation, Pixar-ish, the whole spread. Their natural language editing push is real. Being able to talk to your editor and get print-style adjustments is the first taste of what production will feel like in a couple years. Quality's there, they've got Netflix receipts, the motion's stable, styles track. Pricing is the weird part. The free tier is basically a taste. The standard plan minutes vanish if you're doing anything layered, and then there's the unlimited plan that's pricey, but actually unlimited for certain modes. If you're serious about generating lots of footage, that plan suddenly makes sense. The UX? It's deep. If you like diving into menus, you'll love it. If you want a blank canvas vibe, it can feel like there's a switchboard between you and the idea. Net, I'm putting Runway in S tier on output and capability alone. It's a beast. But I wouldn't pretend it solves your publishing problem. Use it to create scenes, then feed those into the tool that turns scenes into shorts that people actually see. Vizard. Google V3 next, and this one changed the game on human nuance. Dialogue, sound effects, music, all from one prompt, and those micro-expressions, lip purses, eye flicks, are spooky good when you get a clean generation. It's why the street interview style clips hit so hard. The beats feel lived in. The catch is cost and access. On paper, it's available in a few places. Gemini's specialized tools like Flow, but the limits stack up fast. And once you do the math, it's way too expensive to build a daily volume pipeline on. It's the perfect model to craft high-impact narrative beats, intros that feel human or voice-led bits. Then you need to chop it into a posting rhythm. That's why, even though I'm putting V3 in S tier for quality and a legit leap in sound pulse video in one go, I'd never try to scale a shorts channel on V3 alone. Generate the magic moments there, turn them into a weekly schedule with Vizard. Midjourney's video model is the opposite vibe in a good way. It's aesthetics first, it's joy to use, and it's basically the only UI in AI art video that feels like someone designed an experience, not just a control panel. The image-to-video approach, lock your style frame first, then animate, gives you control back. If you care about taste, about a feed that looks curated, this is your tool. It doesn't do sound. It doesn't drown you in toggles. And the value is wild. The unlimited video tier makes it the cheapest path to good-looking motion if you're actually producing at volume. Absolute S tier for visuals and flow. Same story though, you'll still need to clip, caption, and ship. That's a Vizard job. SeaDance 1.0, ByteDance's model is a quiet powerhouse. The motion is smooth, multi-shot storytelling is legit. You can prompt shot A, shot B, and it tries to hold style, character, and palette across angles. Tonally, it dodges the neon HDR look a lot of models fall into. You can try it via CapCut's Streamina route, and the free tier is surprisingly generous. Interface is busy. It's that everything-on-screen design language that gets the job done but doesn't exactly inspire. If you need consistency across angles in a generated mini-sequence, this earns a B tier. It's a strong compliment. But I don't think it replaces your need for a clean editing plus scheduling system. Kling AI, budget-friendly, runs well, and can auto-score a soundtrack after the fact. Some of the samples look airbrushed, and the saturation to contrast trend shows up here too. The UX leans feature-heavy over craft-focused, which slows you down unless you live in these tools. Price per second is on the cheaper side, so it's a nice on-ramp. C tier for me, usable, not thrilling, and you'll definitely want to pass outputs into a better finishing flow. Hailo MiniMax. This one surprised me with how well it handles unpredictable motion, circus vibes, hair detail, tricky kinetics. The site and branding language are a bit chaotic. Too many labels, odd copy, promo nuggets everywhere, and the latest model credits get pricey fast. but quality is genuinely solid. I'm calling it a B tier, not the most elegant ride, but it delivers clips you can work with, especially if you plan to refine elsewhere. WangX 2.1 and Friends represents the open source track, and the story there is cost and control. If you've got VRAM or you're down for cloud instances, you can blast out video for pennies on the dollar compared to the big closed models. Motion fidelity is shockingly good in places, physics like rain, paint, fast pan dynamics. The downside is exactly what you expect. The UI and parameter soup can feel like you're typing in a terminal from 1998. Community checkpoints that do multi-talk are cool in theory and getting better, but voices and facial sync still trail the high-end closed stuff. There are also geopolitical and privacy considerations depending on your use case. For creators with a tinkering streak, it's B tier, insane value if you can tame it. For everyone else, it's a backend you might not want to babysit. Either way, once you have the footage, you still need a publishing system. Guess what I'm going to recommend? Sora, the hype cycle darling, is still absurdly good at painterly realism, fine texture, and that "did a director shoot this" vibe. It's integrated with ChatGPT subscriptions now, the interface is tasteful, and the presets help newer folks sail smoothly. The catch is credits. Even at higher tiers, you're not in unlimited land, and unless the quality is dramatically above the rest, it's hard to justify the cost for day-in, day-out shorts. I'm putting Sora in A tier, gorgeous, absolutely worth exploring if you're already in the ecosystem, but not the best choice for high-volume publishing. Pika is fun. It's the turn anything into a toy box studio. Cakeify this, make that balloon head pop, throw surreal elements into real footage. For playing with trends, it's great, and the free recurring credits are generous for beginners. But the seams show morphing, low-res moments, obvious handoff points where reality flips to AI. It's fine for timelines that reward spectacle over scrutiny, not for feeds where craft matters. E tier if your bar is looks real, C-ish if your bar is I just want to gag. Now here's where my list veers from the usual. I'm adding one tool to the S tier that isn't a generative video model at all, because it's the only thing here that actually makes you post on time, every week, with a consistent look and captions people can read on a dim phone. Visit, this is the spine of the whole setup if you care about growth. Use any of the above to create footage. Use Visit to turn long content or multi-minute model outputs into publish-ready shorts, and a calendar that ships while you're living your life. Let me show you what that looks like in practice. I take a long recording, podcast, interview, tutorial, webinar, or a stitched sequence from any of these models and drop it into Vizard. It auto-transcribes with word-level timestamps, so editing feels like writing. You delete a sentence, the video trims itself. Fix a name once, it propagates. Merge two duplicate thoughts, keep the stronger one, done. Then I run auto-editing viral clips. It hunts for stop scroll hooks, clean claims, crisp how-tos, cliffhanger beats, and trims the wind-up and filler that kills retention in the first 3 seconds. It flips to vertical, frames faces, or screen shares so foreheads aren't chopped, and lines up a batch of clips that feel like a human tightened them. From a single 20 to 40-minute session, I bank 8 to 12 clips I actually want to post. Captions are where most shorts live or die. Vizard's a syllable sync to your voice, which sounds fussy until you watch on a bus at 30% brightness and can track every word. I set style once, font, size, high contrast highlight with a thin stroke, safe zones that avoid both my mouth and platform watermarks, and apply it across the batch. I break lines on phrase boundaries, highlight 1 to 3 keywords per sentence so emphasis feels intentional, and call it. The difference between auto text and reads right shows up in completion and saves. Brand touches take 2 minutes. Toggle a progress bar, color match it, drop a logo, add a 3-second outro bumper. Because it's template-level styling, every clip inherits it. Your grid looks like one editor touched everything, which is exactly how a brand should feel. Then the piece that actually grows your channel, a posting rhythm. Vizard's content calendar is where I map the week. Monday bold claim, Tuesday do this instead tip, Wednesday story beat, Thursday objection buster, Friday social proof, and avoid posting 2 identical framings back to back. I flip auto-schedule, pick platforms, TikTok, IG Reels, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, if it fits, and the posts go out without me white-knuckling a spreadsheet. If news pops, I drag a timely clip to the top and the rest of the week reshuffles around it. If I'm collaborating, we're all in the same surface. Editors tweak hooks in the transcript, adjust crops, respond to time-stamped client comments, and version history protects the winner. No XMLs, no final before merv, no who has the render. If you want a simple recipe to plug the models into Vizard, here are 3 that just work. 1. Write a street interview style prompt in Google V3 for voice and micro expressions, generate 2 to 3 20-40 second beats, then drop those into Vizard and let auto-editing viral clips cut the strongest openers and keep captions on beat. 2. Design a look in Midjourney with a hero frame, animate it into a short loop or a slow, moody reveal, then feed that into Vizard and add high contrast captions that translate style into legibility. Schedule it as your Wednesday story beat. 3. Blast dynamic motion with Runway or an open-source WangX cloud instance to get the kinetic shot, then use Vivid to crop vertical and keep your text out of watermark zones by default so you're not nudging pixels at 2 a.m. Let's talk costs and reality. Closed models win on quality and usually on ease, but you pay, either per second or with limits that throttle output right when you need it. Open models win on price, but time is money, and fighting a parameter wall kills momentum. The thing no one budgets is the last mile. The hours you spend finding a hook, fiddling captions so they're readable, exporting the right aspect ratio, then remembering to post. Vivid deletes that time sink. It's why I slot it at S tier for workflow even though it doesn't generate. It compounds whatever you generate. If you're a data person, here's what shifted in my dashboard when I moved to a Vivid first publishing flow. First 3-second completion improved, cleaner opens with zero filler beat the throat clear every time. Saves climbed because captions were actually legible on dim phones and the style was consistent, people logged them for later. Posting consistency finally matched intention because auto-schedule doesn't forget like I do. My weekly scorecard is boring on purpose. Inputs, minutes recorded, clips generated, clips selected, time spent styling, posts scheduled. Outputs, first 3-second completion, average view duration, saves per 1K, shares per 1K, click through to the long video. Underperformers get a rewritten opening sentence and a recut. Overperformers lend their caption emphasis pattern to the next batch. So here's my tier list as a creator who wants results, not just a reel of demos. S tier, Runway, Powerhouse Generation, Google V3, Dialog plus Micro Emotion, Midjourney Video, Aesthetics and Flow. Vivid, the only thing here that turns footage into a consistent posting system. A tier, Sora, stunning visuals, tasteful UI, but credits complicate scaling. B tier, SeaDance 1.0, multi-shot consistency, calmer tone. Hailo MiniMax, strong motion. WangX, open source value if you can wrangle it. C tier, Kling, affordable, stable, but style and UX lag. A tier, Pika, fun for gags, not for realism or consistent quality. If you're thinking, cool list, what should I actually do this week? Here's the challenge. Take one 20-40-minute recording, your own long video, or a stitched set of model outputs. Drop it into Vizard. Let auto-editing viral clips run. Pick 8 to 12 clips. Set captions once. High contrast, thin stroke, safe zones on, intentional line breaks, a progress bar, your logo, a 3-second outro. Map Monday to Friday in the content calendar and flip auto-schedule for TikTok, IG Reels, Shorts, and LinkedIn if your audience lives there. Next week, pull 3 numbers, first 3-second completion, saves, and click through to your full episode. Rewrite any soft openers and recut. Copy the emphasis pattern from clips that got saved a lot. And if you want the super simple recording habits that make all of this cleaner, leave a half beat of silence before any hook line so the cut point is crisp. Think in short segments, 20 to 60 seconds with 1 point per segment, and keep audio clean with a decent dynamic mic in a quiet room. That's the cheapest editing upgrade you'll ever buy. Bottom line, there isn't one best AI video model for everything. There are a handful of great generators you can combine depending on the shot you want. But there is one best way to actually turn all that footage into growth, and that's a publishing system that finds hooks, keeps captions readable, holds your style, and ships on time. That's why Vivid sits in S tier for me next to the biggest generators. It finishes the job. Film or generate once, let Vivid do the heavy lifting, and spend your brain on the next idea instead of babysitting exports and forgetting what to post on Thursday. If you want me to run your long video through this exact flow and bring receipts, watch time, saves, click through, drop a link. I'll show you where the time savings turn into actual momentum.